big thing.
Like waiting all day on July the 4th for a fireworks show, only to end up with some sparklers and snakes. You remember those things? Those little, I don't know what they were. You lit them and then they, pfft. What was that all about? Anyway, the NBA trade deadline passes with very little stake to accompany the sizzle. I mean, the list of players who were moved includes Taj Gibson, Doug McDermott, Cameron Payne, Nerlens Noel, Andrew Bogut, PJ Tucker. Some draft picks changed hands, but nothing that really moves the needle. Given the challenge of making the money work, it's difficult to make the pieces fit together in the NBA, but it certainly seemed like there were some major possibilities. And this is where I have to wonder if it's simply the world I create for myself that convinces me of this. If you're following Woj and Worldwide Wob and Simmons and a bunch of other folks who also love the league, the chatter was constant and the possibilities were really interesting. With players like Paul George, Jimmy Butler, Andre Drummond, and teams including the Lakers, the Celtics, the Bulls, you had star names and franchises all seemingly flirting with each other, and all that was left to do was wait and hit refresh on your browser. And then it was 3 Eastern, and that's it. Yep, pretty much. George will stay at Indiana with huge questions about free agency in 18 remaining, and then the Los Angeles Lakers seeming like a very distinct possibility. Jimmy Butler stays in Chicago. The Bulls reportedly were more interested in Boston's actual pieces rather than the Celtics' other asset, draft picks, which could be used to acquire pieces. Regardless of what didn't happen, the one thing that did, at least in the little corner of the world I occupy, is that the NBA was the topic of conversation among sports fans. Now, sure, this is a slow week, but between the trade deadline and free agency after the finals and in June, the NBA manages to corner the market on conversation in a way that only the NFL is really able to surpass. That conversation and speculation fueled now in the way that we consume news. NBA social media, I think, is the sharpest of all the major sports. Team accounts are all in on the fun. Meanwhile, players' emojis and social media bios are all being scrutinized for some greater meaning. Maybe dudes are just bored. But all around the league, they're invested, and they're doing the exact same thing we are, waiting to read about the next blockbuster. Or, as it turns out, maybe it's PJ Tucker to Toronto in exchange for Jared Sellinger and a couple of second-round picks. Thanks for watching. If you want more great content, be sure to subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel so you'll always stay up to date on all things SVP, which sounds awesome. You don't want to miss out.